Good morning and welcome to day number 39 of Bedtime Bible Stories. And today story title is The River That Ran Blood. After Moses and Aaron had spoken to the people of Israel, they went to see Pharaoh. At first, Moses and Aaron did not ask Pharaoh to let the people go out of Egypt. They said, "Our God, the Lord God of Israel, has hidden us to go out with all our people." Pardon me, the word is has bidden, not hidden. So I'll read that sentence again. They said, "Our God, the Lord, God of Israel, has bidden us to go out with all our people 3 days into the wilderness and worship him there. And God speaks to you through us, saying, 'Let my people go, that they may serve me.'" Pharaoh was very angry. He said, "What are you doing taking your people away from their work? Go back to your tasks and leave your people alone." I know why the Israelites are talking about going out into the wilderness. They don't have enough work to keep them busy. I will give them more work to do. The work of the Israelites was mostly making bricks and putting up the walls of buildings for the rulers of Egypt. In mixing the day for the brick, they used straw, chopped up fine to hold the clay together. Pharaoh said, "Let them make as many bricks as before, but don't give them straw. Let the Israelites find their own straw for the brick making." Of course, this made their task all the harder, for it took a lot of time to find the straw, pardon me. For it took a lot of time to find the straw. The Israelites were scattered all through the land, finding straw and stubble for use in making the brick. And yet they were expected to bring as many bricks as before. When they could not do all their tasks, they were cruelly beaten by the Egyptians. Many of the Israelites now became angry with Moses and Aaron, who they thought had brought more burden and trouble on them. They said, "May the Lord God judge you and punish you. You promised to lead us out and set us free, but you only made our suffering worse." Then Moses cried to the Lord, and the Lord said to him, "Take Aaron, your brother, and go again to Pharaoh. Show him the signs I gave you." So they went in to Pharaoh and again asked him in the Lord's name to let the people go. And Pharaoh said, "Who is the Lord? Why should I obey his commands? What sign can you show that God has sent you?" Aaron threw down his rod, and it was turned into a snake. But there were wise men in Egypt who had heard of this. and they made a trick ready. They threw down the rods, and their rods became snakes, or seemed to. They may have been tame snakes they had hidden under their long garments and then brought out. But Aaron's rod, in the form of a snake, ran after them and swallowed them all. Then it became a rod again in Aaron's hand. But Pharaoh refused to obey God's voice. And I will show you a picture of the Pharaoh with Aaron and Moses with the rod and the snake. And here it is. Can you see it? There. Okay. Then Moses spoke to Aaron by God's command. Take your rod and wave it over the water of Egypt, over the river Nile, and the canals, and the lakes. Aaron did so. He lifted up the rod and struck the waters while Pharaoh watched. In a moment, all the water turned to blood, and the fish in the river all died. A terrible stench, a foul smell, rose over the land, and the people were in danger of dying. But in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites were, the water was not turned to blood. So God showed a difference between Israel and Egypt. The people of Egypt dug wells to find water, and the wise men of Egypt brought some water to Pharaoh and made it look as though they had turned it to blood. And Pharaoh would not listen or let the people go. And that was the word of the Lord. Now, this is the discussion questions. Number 1. Why did Pharaoh give the Israelites more work? And the second part of question 1. Do you think they had already been working hard? Number 2. How did Moses and Aaron show Pharaoh that God had sent them? Number 3. Why didn't Pharaoh listen? Have fun discussing the questions, and may you have a good night. God bless you all. Bye-bye.